How's it going, folks? Welcome back to the channel. Where else? World's gone a bit tits up, hasn't it? Hasn't been a particularly great first 3 months of 2020 by anyone's standards, unless that person's dead, in which case it's nearly there, to be honest. It is nearly there. If you haven't seen, I don't know why you've seen, there's a virus happening, coronavirus. Not as fun as it sounds. Everywhere's shutting down, governments are stepping in an unprecedented manner, people are self-isolating, social distancing, staying in, not going out, don't want to infect people, which means more time to watch things. Which means more content for me to make. There truly hasn't ever been a better time to be a content creator on YouTube. What's that? People are dying? You should tone down, mate. But we're going to get through this, and the only way we get through this is by not dwelling on the terrible things and just trying to focus on the positives and the good things and all sticking together. With that in mind, I thought I'd run through some of my favourite feel-good movies that you can whack on to take your mind off the inevitable collapse of society that is slowly but surely happening around us outside. Slightly long-winded title, it's feel-good films, baby. Now, what is a feel-good movie? That is a very good question. Very subjective. Anything that makes you feel good. End of video. That might change person to person. What makes you happy and smiley might make me not happy, not smiley, very much unsmiley. So these are films that make me feel particularly happy and smiley inside that I know I can whack on and just come out of it thinking a little bit better about things, you know? Everyone's lists are going to be different, so do make sure you let me know what your feel-good films are down in the comments below. And also, why not subscribe? I haven't got many good reasons, just why not? Let's get straight into it. No particular order on this one. It's just a list. Crazy Stupid Love. What a film. One of my favourite rom-coms, and no feel-good film list would be complete without a couple of rom-coms. Weird to say, but it's mainly the cast of this one that just makes me feel good. It could be anything. Within the first 5 minutes, I'm like, oh, cool, those people are in it. I'm happy now. Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone, Steve Carell, Julianne Moore. I mean, dude, come on. Crazy Stupid Love, man. It has one of my favourite rom-com screenplays, which is not, I guess, something you'd usually say in regards to rom-coms. You'd be like, yeah, it was cheesy shit and I had a good time. This one is just a genuinely good film. I mean, it knows what it is, but it is also better than it is. What? It's a good rom-com. That's what I'm trying to say. And it makes me feel good. Next up is a coming-of-age film, and you know I love me some coming-of-age films, so there has to be at least one on this list. It's The Way, Way Back, which shouldn't be way, way back on your list of films you want to watch. It should be at the top. It should be at... There's a joke. It's incredibly heartwarming, but also quite touching and moving. It's about a young boy sort of forced on a summer vacation with family and a new stepdad he doesn't like. They're all being dicks to him. He's quite lonely. He's quite introverted as a person. And he starts working at a local water park. And it's just about him sort of growing and learning that, you know, it's not all shit. I love it so much, and it touches on everything I love about coming of age films. It makes me laugh, makes me cry, but ultimately when I finish Way, Way Back, I got a big beaming smile on my face. What a film. Similar in some ways, not a lot, to be honest, so I'm not sure what this segue's about really at all, to the next film on this list, which is Kings of Summer, which again is a film which I don't tend to see a lot of people saying they've seen, but the people that have seen it always say it's good, because guess what? It's a great fucking film. This film gets better every time I watch it, and I'm guilty of sort of, I guess, almost forgetting about it until I remember it and watch it, and I'm like, oh yeah, that film was amazing, isn't it? It's just about a bunch of kids that want to get away from their life and their families, and they just go to the woods and decide to build a treehouse and live there. It's just magical. Much like any good coming-of-age film, much like the previous film on this list, it's got everything you want. It makes you laugh, it makes you cry, it makes you think. It was a directorial debut from Jordan Vogt Roberts, who you might know as the guy that did Kong Skull Island. Not an incredible film, that. This one is. The tone is just exactly right, and it just makes me feel warm. It makes me appreciate the outside, which is a strange thing to say, but genuinely, when you're inside watching films about being outside, that kind of just makes me feel amazing. I'm not sure why. Just really sums up everything that's good about growing up and life and learning things, as all coming-of-age films do, because that's what they are, and that's what they're about. Kings of Summer is amazing. Next up is one of my all-time favourite comedies. Comedy makes you feel good. There you go. You can quote me on that. That's fine. It's Hot Rod, which is a film from the guys behind Lonely Island. It's basically about a stuntman that is just not good even slightly, but he's trying to raise money for his stepdad that has a heart transplant he needs doing. It is genuinely hilarious. I truly don't think there's a single day that goes by where I'm not quoting this film in some form. Might not be for everyone, because the humour is, on the surface, I mean, incredibly dumb. I have to get that out of the way. But it is just hilarious. It is so rewatchable. It is so quotable. It has some amazing sequences. It is also kind of quite touching in the end in a strange way. I don't know what else there is to say. Hot Rod, if you haven't seen it, you need to watch this film. It will make you feel more than good. It'll make you feel bloody great, mate. Now for a film which tends to appear on a lot of my lists when they're about good things, because it's one of my favourite films of all time, it's The Goonies. The Goonies will never fail to put me just in such a wholesome mood. There is no time when this isn't the right film to put on. It is just endlessly the right film to watch at any given moment. I don't know if I need to explain what it's about. It's The Goonies, but it is about these kids that go on an adventure looking for treasure. It's from the 80s. It has a lot of actors who are incredibly young. That makes you go, oh, look how young they were, which is always a bonus for any feel-good movie. There's no other film that really makes me feel quite as warm inside. It's just like this sense of childhood adventure, going down into these caves, there's pirate ships. I mean, it's ludicrous. It's a completely ludicrous film, but it's the best kind of ludicrous. It is one of the best films ever made. Perfect in particular if it's like a rainy Sunday. You whack this bad boy on and you'll forget the rain's outside, and you'll forget that you're shut inside because you can't go outside, because if you risk touching anyone else, you might kill some elderly people because there's a motherfucking pandemic going on. You'll forget all of that because it's The Goonies. And even better, you can pretty much watch this one with the whole family. There's a cliche quote, and everyone's gonna have a great time. It's got Short Round from Indiana Jones, which is always a bonus for any film. He zip wires from his house to his friend's house, and when I saw it when I was little, I thought, I've got to make that shit, and I never was able to. I never did it. Next up is another rom-com. Happens to probably be the best rom-com of all time. 10 Things I Hate About You. Heath Ledger. All I really got to say is it's got Heath Ledger in it, and it's a rom-com. And you'll be going, yep, that makes complete sense why it's on a feel-good film list. I'm gonna watch it. Heath Ledger sings Can't Take My Eyes Off of You as well in this film. The positives keep rolling in, my brothers. No, but this has just got that 90s charm that all rom-coms seem to have at that time, except this is just the best one. Based loosely off of Shakespeare, and based heavily off of Heath Ledger's face, because he stars in it. Every scene in this film just makes me feel something. Sometimes I'm crying, but in the end, I'm happy. The scene where Julia Stiles gets up and reads the poem she's written in class and starts crying. Oh, getting choked up just thinking about it, my boys. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's in it. He's well young. And also, the music and the soundtrack of this film is exactly what you'd want from a 90s rom-com, and it's just great. It's just so great. It's truly, truly a feel-good film, and it has one of the greatest lines in any rom-com. That must be Nigel with the brie. So, I mean, more like 10 things I love about this film, huh? Am I right, or am I the final one? And this is maybe a short list. I don't know what you were expecting. Here it is. But it's the first and only animated film on this list. I could have put a lot more. I truly could have put almost like all Disney classics in here. But I thought, you know what? I'll trim it down. I'll keep it neat. This just happens to be one which genuinely surprised me and makes me so happy whenever I watch it. It's Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. I had no idea what to expect when I first watched this film. I genuinely thought it was going to be complete shite. True, complete shite. And I watched it, and it is, I had one of the happiest times watching an animated films, maybe ever, watching Cloud of the Chance of Meatballs for the first time. It's basically about a mad scientist that creates this device that turns weather and rain into food, so it rains food down, but it goes crazy, it goes haywire, and everyone everywhere starts getting rained on by giant food, and they have to try and stop it. Yes, it's that. And its humour is mainly made up of sort of dad jokes or very bad puns on food. But I'm telling you right now, that is a positive. It's so charming, odd, and quirky, and its humour, whilst on the whole, on surface level, can feel very dumb, does also feel like there's some strangely deeper jokes that kids just are not going to get, which makes it great for not just kids, but adults as well. In fact, I actually think older people, adults, are probably going to enjoy this more than kids, because it's just ridiculous, and amazing, and heartwarming. I love it. It's great. Sequel wasn't that good. Stick to the first one. And that's it. Those are my choices for feel-good films, which I would happily whack on if I'm ever feeling down, which something tells me a lot of us are needing right now during whatever the hell is going on with 2020. Yes, there are plenty more films that I could have added in this list. I just wanted to keep it short and sweet. And yes, you are going to have a shit ton of feel-good films that you enjoy that I haven't included here that you want to tell me about. So please lob them in the comments below, and we'll get chatting about feel-good films, and we'll start trying to just spread a little bit of fun, positivity, take our minds off the shit that's happening in the world. I'm going to be doing a couple more videos in the coming days on films and TV shows that I am recommending from streaming sites while we're all stuck at home with way too much time to watch stuff, so look out for those. But for now, I'm going to not go outside. I'm going to go finish a Peppa Pig cake I got because it was my birthday yesterday and it was the only cake left in Tesco. Gonna really enjoy that. Birthdays in isolation, real fun. Let me tell you, I'm gonna try it every year. I'm not. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and that is the video.